Hi my lovelies, hope you're all doing well. Today I'm doing a video on IBS. IBS is a abbreviation for irritable bowel syndrome. Do not confuse this with IBD. IBD is irritable bowel disease, which is things like Crohn's disease, celiac disease, intercystitis, diverculitis, and things like that. It's a little bit different to IBS, so don't confuse them. IBS, on the other hand, is where foods or liquids that you consume irritates your bowels, your intestines, or your stomach. The types of IBS are IBS-C, which is constipation, IBS-M, which is mixed, which is diarrhea or constipation or both, and IBS-D, which is IBS diarrhea. Each person is different. Some people have one or the other, or they have the mixed, where they have both. Everybody has different food tolerances as well, or allergies, so some people find it easier to cut out certain foods that are specifically triggering their symptoms, whether that's sugar, meat, salad and fruits, or gluten. Anything can set it off, but you have to find your triggers to know whether to eliminate them or to not eliminate them. Some people also do diets, which are the high and low FODMAP diets, and some people do things like fasting, which is where you go a certain amount of hours without food, and then the rest of the day you eat until your fasting starts again the next day. Personally, I've tried every diet there is, and unfortunately it doesn't help with me, but that is because I am in the percentage of people who has IBS, which is related to stress, anxiety, and other conditions that could contribute to my stomach issues. I am going under investigation because we're not entirely certain if IBS is the proper diagnosis that I should have because of some of the symptoms that I tend to have on a regular basis, which I will go into now. Symptoms of IBS, which is different depending on if you have C, M, or D, are constipation, where you can't go for more than 3 times a day or 3 times a week. Some people find that they don't go either a week or a few weeks, and then they get really sick, and they have to have medications, which then soften the sores to help them go at a regular pace. Sometimes people also have to have other medications, which I will talk about near the end of the video after the symptoms list. For IBS-M, it can be varied because you could have diarrhea and constipation, or more of one than the other. So you could be going through a few days or weeks of not going, and then all of a sudden you have to go in a week, multiple times in a day, because your storage is too full. So it backs up, and then you have to excrete all that your body has stored in a few days or a few weeks that you've not been able to go. With IBS-D, people like me, for example, have to go between 3 to 10 plus times in a day. It can vary in consistency. It can also vary on the days. So if you have more stress, or if you go by triggers, if you have more trigger foods in the day, it can also make your urgency frequent or less frequent depending on what you have. And the main symptoms of any of these categories are pain, so lower abdominal pain. It can be any type of pain, from a dull pain to a stabbing pain. It's different for each individual. To nausea. If you have diarrhea, you'll often get the cold and hot shivers, especially if it's one of those extra bad days. You can get some people vomit as well if it's that bad. Other symptoms could be headaches and rectum pain and bleeding, depending on how often you have to go. So, these are just some of the generic basic symptoms, but each individual is different. So some people might have more than one symptom, some people might not have any, some people might have symptoms that aren't on the list. But these are the main symptoms that you can get. Bloating and not wanting to eat, or fullness as well, can sometimes be symptoms. So it all depends on your anatomy and how your body deals with your syndrome. So that's the basis of the symptoms. Going on to medications, there's loads of different medications you can take. For diarrhea, you got acute diarrhea relief, you got Imodium, which can come in tablet form or instant form, which is like a tablet you put on the tongue and it dissolves. Or you got the coated tablets, which you can swallow with water. You've also got antispasmodics, which your doctor may prescribe if they deem it necessary. I have tried the spasmodics, and for me they didn't do anything, so it's all to do with your anatomy, whether it works with your body or not. There's also, for constipation, there's medications for that as well. You've got enemas, which come in different forms, and it's a chemical that allows you to go and empty your bowels so that your body can work on getting everything moving. But you can also take a more subtle form of constipation relief. It's like Senecalm. You could take Laxido. You can also take Fibergel, lactulose drink, which is like a watery, sugary drink that's meant to help you to go. But these are to soften your stool so that you can go at a normal pace. It breaks it down so that you can go at irregular intervals, but at a safe and steady pace. For people who have mixed, they can go from having Senecalm to having to have diarrhea relief, but it all depends on how you are on the day. obviously, depending on where you are in the world, I'm in the UK, so there are some medications that I can have in the UK that, my friends in America can't have, but then vice versa, there's some medications that you guys might have that we can't have. So it's all to do with what you're allowed to have that's available and what works best for you, but it's best to talk to a doctor to get tests done if you are thinking that you might have IBS. They will, you most likely will have to do some tests just to rule out any other conditions, which is, IBD, so like the Crohn's and celiac disease, as I said at the beginning of the video. They like to rule that out first, and then they will ask you to do simple tests like a fecal test, a urine test, and blood work. And they will, again, they'll see if you've got anything else in there that shouldn't be there. And if there's nothing there, then they will most likely say that you have IBS if there's nothing else they can go on. IBS is what they call a blanket term. So if they find that you haven't got symptoms that coincide with any other diagnoses, and all your tests come back clear and negative, then they will most likely put you down as IBS and give you medications or tips on dietary needs for that. In terms of myself, I have IBSD most of the time, and I take acute diarrhea relief tablets because they're a little bit cheaper than the Imodiums that you can get. And I've tried all the diets, but they don't seem to work for me. I even went gluten-free for a year. I've been vegetarian, I've been vegan, I've also done like the fad diets, which are meant to make you lose weight drastically. But then once you start eating again, you gain it all back. So I do not recommend doing that. Disclaimer, do not do it unless you do it at your own risk. That's it. I'm not encouraging anybody to do it. If you want to do it, then that's at your own discretion. So, I hope this video is informative. There is other procedures that you can have done, which is like the colonoscopy and the colposcopy, but I haven't had them done yet because I got lots of other, I got itchy nose. I got lots of other things that are being investigated, so at this point in time, I can't have that area looked at any further than it already has been. So for now, I'm just making do with the things to mask or to help my symptoms until I can have a further investigation and diagnosis. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will do more medical based videos on single topics. Please let me know what you would like to learn about next, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I would greatly appreciate any reaction I can get to my videos. I'm still quite new to YouTube, so unless I get any reactions on my videos, not many people will get to see the content. So any likes and comments will be greatly appreciated, and it will let YouTube know that we are here, and I will then be put on the algorithms, so once I've got a new video out, you guys can see it instantly and you don't have to go scrolling to find it. So yeah, love to you all, and I hope to see you again soon. P.S. My back is still sore, but I have good moments and I have bad moments. It's still early days because it's only been just over a week since I pulled the muscle. So it's going to take at least another 4, 5, 6 weeks, possibly more, depending on how quickly my body wants to make things heal before it gets better. So yeah, that's my update, and I hope you have a good week, and I will do another video. I'm not sure when, but I would like to start regularly doing videos again, preferably 2 times a week. So let me know down in the comments what days you would like the videos to be put on, so that I know you guys are available to watch them, and let me know what content you want as well, so I know what you guys want to see. Love to you all, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.